when you talk about what they proved, they're 3-0. Do I consider them a team that's worthy of being undefeated? I guess you could say yes, because they are. But what they've done defensively in the first half of each game is highly questionable, which is something we'll get into later because of Kerry Williams' comments about his coach, Chip Kelly. But in the end, their offense is high-powered. You see with Skip's boy from Vanderbilt, Matthews, a rookie with 2 touchdown catches.
I told you in the preseason.
Preseason what?
I said, beware.
Yes, you did.
He's coming.
Yes,
Jordan Matthews, beware.
Yes, he did. He did. Yes, you did. Yes, you did. That's why I gave you
Thank
credit.
you.
No one need to interrupt me to remind you when I'm trying to give you credit. But my point to you is that Macklin is back. He was out last year. He reminded everybody why he's back. He had a big-time game. Nick Foles had a big-time game and showed a level of toughness that we didn't know he had. They did this without being able to run the football effectively with Shady McCoy, not just because he got a little concussed, but also their offensive line. Injuries personified. 4 guys playing different positions on the offensive line. So, obviously, there were some protection issues. There was some issues in terms of creating some holes to run the football. But still in all, they managed to get it done through special teams, through exploiting the Redskins' special teams, through also making sure to prove that as good as Kirk Cousins is, there's a reason he wasn't designated to start it. There's a reason that Skip Bayless has had his questions about Kirk Cousins, because when it was really, really time on the last 2 drives, he couldn't get it done. It's just that simple. And so for me, I look at the Philadelphia Eagles. I picked them to win the NFC East. And what they've proven to me is that they're the best team in the NFC East. That's what I see. But that's not saying a lot, to be quite honest with you. But they are impressive offensively. Their defense is highly suspect.
This game boiled down to me with the point that you made near the end of your opening soliloquy. When it counts, Nick Foles is better and always will be better, I believe, than Kirk Cousins was yesterday when it counted in the fourth quarter. Kirk Cousins made some sweet throws yesterday, some sweet deep balls, one to Deron for a touchdown. Kirk Cousins threw for 102 more yards than Nick Foles for the game. That's 427 to 325. But you know what my favorite quarterback stat is? QBR. Scale of 0 to 100 in the fourth quarter. Nick Foles had a 91 on a scale of 100. Kirk Cousins in the fourth quarter, QBR 12. Why was that? Because on Kirk Cousins' first 3 possessions, remember, it's 27 all. Third down in the first possession, misfire, poor pass. Third down, next possession, misfire, poor pass. And in the next possession, first down, misfire, really bad idea, interception. All of a sudden, it's 37 to 27. Philadelphia. Now the pressure's off, and Kirk Cousins led a terrific touchdown drive. Now you're back in the game. Now you got a chance to win the game. You get the ball back late in the game, and you have 3 straight misfires. I'm sorry, Kirk Cousins. He's a really he is one of the he might be the best backup quarterback in the NFL. Yeah. But long-term starter, franchise quarterback, no. Will he be there when you really, really need him? No. Am I really, really sold on the Philadelphia Eagles? I am not. I agree with you. Nick Foles showed incredible toughness yesterday. Took a lot of shots, one of them a cheap shot that we're about to talk about, and kept getting up and firing clutch throws. But in the end, Philly's defense gave up 511 yards, and I'm supposed to say wow to that. And remember, Washington did lose in the second half, D'Angelo Hall, so I can't really say that it was great what they did to Washington's defense without D'Angelo. And boy, it sounded like he's got an Achilles issue that could shelve him for the rest of the year. But in the end, Stephen A., I don't know, not that big a deal to me, except that that Nick Foles is a tough guy. That's what it proved.
Well, first of all, it was a great game. There's no doubt about that. It was a great game, and we wanted to see something from Cousins, and he came out there and he was balling. There's no denying that. It's just that when it counted most, the Eagles' defense was able to neutralize them. Some throws were bad. Some throws were off target.
They were.
He just didn't seem to be the Kirk Cousins that existed for the first 3.5 quarters, which really exemplifies the difference between him and RG3.
Yep.
Because RG3 always gives you the impression that he will respond in the big moments. It's the other moments where you're wondering what he's going to give you. But during the big moments, you do expect more from RG3. You don't necessarily expect much from Kirk Cousins. When I look at the Eagles again, their defense has been highly suspect. We know that. But I think that my boy Malcolm Jenkins was balling.
He was good yesterday.
I thought he had some good plays yesterday. He showed up. He showed up big time yesterday. No doubt about that. But the Eagles' defense is suspect, to say the least. They've been outscored 58-24 in the first half of these games. And again, we'll debate later why that is. But in the end, that offense is high-powered. Macklin is no joke. You got Selleck and Ertz at the tight end. You've got Riley Cooper, who's out there, didn't have a big game, didn't need to. Darren Sproles had an uncharacteristic fumble. We can't expect that from him customarily because we know better. And so when I look at the Eagles, they're just loaded with weapons right now. And I think offensively, because they're always in the game and because they have such a high-powered offense, it influences how other people play offensively against them. A lot of times you might want to go for the big play or whatever, but sometimes you might have coaches that are more interested in ball control, Skip, simply because they want to keep the ball away from the Eagles' offense. You don't know what kind of contagious effect their offensive firepower is having on on opposing offenses, for crying out loud, simply because they want to keep that offense off the field for their respective defenses. So I'm paying attention to all of that, and I'm saying without these guys, down Evan Mathis, down Allen Barbie, down Lane Johnson, down Matt Tobin, still in all, you go out there with Shady McCoy not being able to do what he's capable of doing and still finding a way to win this game knowing that you are not going to be able to run the ball so much. I think that speaks a lot for the Philadelphia Eagles right now. I'm going to give credit where credit is due.